Maxwell Young, Jealousy, and after one, we do love where I live, and we are in the south of England. Now, the former Liberian president, Charles Taylor, has been convicted of aiding and abetting war crimes in Sierra Leone. The crimes he's been found guilty of include terror, murder, rape, and conscripting child soldiers. The violent unrest in Sierra Leone lasted 11 years and was characterized by the use of child soldiers and the rebels' mutilation of victims by hacking off their hands or feet. It was some of the most terrible stuff people have ever seen in Africa. The special court in The Hague has convicted Charles Taylor of helping those rebels because Sierra Leone is rich in minerals and diamonds. That's why he did it. The judge said Taylor had sold diamonds and bought weapons on behalf of the rebels known as the RUF, and he knew full well that they were committing those atrocities. If you've got any connection to Sierra Leone, we'd love your response to the guilty verdict against Charles Taylor. Any insight into the country? Yasmin Kadi fled the violence there, came to the UK. When was that, Yasmin? Tell us about it.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hi.
Came to the UK in 1993.
And by that stage, even that early, Sierra Leone was being rocked by unrest sponsored by Liberia. Is that right?
Of course it was. I remember one situation when I was there. This was after the war had initially taken place. It was about 3, 4 in the morning. Everyone was in, my mum, my dad, and then about 2 truck load full of soldiers pulled outside the house, surrounded the house, broke the doors, broke the windows, got in, took my dad outside the house, started ruthlessly beating my dad up with guns. About a whole load of them. My dad was bleeding so much, his ears were bleeding. They took my mum away. I mean, I think I was about 13 at the time, and it was just horrendous watching this and thinking, God, why is this happening to my dad and my whole family? And the only reason it happened was because we shared the same surname as a family member who was a well-known businessman. So therefore they thought we were wealthy, we had diamonds. So they were saying, where's the safe, where's the diamonds, where's the money, give it to us. And of course we didn't have any of that. My parents were just about getting along and finding food to eat. So and this happened to us. It was absolutely terrible.
And after you came to the UK, it got even worse, didn't it?
Yes, it did. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. Initially, I was a professional actress in theatre in West End, and I've given all of that up and formed Caddy and the Tricks. They're a band, and we sing about the issues in Sierra Leone, how people are still suffering even today. I made a trip back to Sierra Leone in 2007, and I couldn't believe what I was saying. It was actually much worse than when I initially left. I see children with no arms, no legs, no eyes, people begging. It was just inhumane. So we want people to be aware of what's going on. I went in
2000, and that was just soon after the rebels closed in on Freetown, and I was shocked because they came into the capital, which is beautiful, all these beautiful wooden buildings. It looks like a film set, lots of it, and they burnt parts of it down, and then, as you say, they got kids and adults to line up and very methodically hacked off their hands and their arms.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, there was this thing about what do you want, long sleeve or short sleeve? So short sleeve basically means they'll cut your arm from your elbow, and long sleeve meant from the wrist. Who does things like that?
And was it related to, just to stay on this for a moment, was it related to the fact that their parents had voted in the election? Was that what caused the problem?
No, I don't think it had anything to do with that. It's like the London riots. Once something starts off, it just catapults. Once this issue happened, you know, the rebels, they wanted to get more people on their sides. They just wanted to get a mass behind them. So it had nothing to do with who's voted for who, absolutely nothing to do with that. And a way of getting people in was to drug little children and say, look, it's either we kill your family or you join us. And, you know, these kids had no choice. The kids as young as 4, 5, 6. I mean, what do they know about life? Absolutely nothing.
And we saw that massive campaign online about Coney and child soldiers. Is that related to this story, or is that the neighbouring country?
I'm not aware of that story, I'm afraid.
Okay, all right, no, fine. We'll obviously not. I think it was probably more Congo. So tell us what happens now. What will Charles Taylor's conviction do to help turn a corner?
Right. You see, with the whole Charles Taylor conviction, I'm sitting on the fence, whereas, you know, I don't have any proof that personal proof that Charles Taylor did what he did. I mean, we can all imagine it takes more than one person to cause a war. And like you mentioned to the lady you were speaking to earlier, does that mean we'll then start charging Bush and Tony Blair? Where I sit on the fence is this, making people aware of how people are still suffering. Okay, this man has been convicted, but that's not going to bring back the thousands of people that have died and been killed. So
also,
to bring...
what do you do? Because we've seen in Rwanda, it's very hard to, if you're in a small country and some guy who cut off your daughter's arm comes out of the jungle to live next door to you or in your street, the reconciliation process is so difficult, isn't it?
It's almost impossible, because people in that society wouldn't want to accept those children. You know, as far as they're concerned, they're evil, they did what they did, and there's no excuse. So how do you welcome those children back into society?
Do you think you'll ever go back then?
And that's my aim. That's why we've set up Kadi and the Tricks, to bring awareness of what's going on, to make people listen to the music. If I can just say the website as well for people to listen to this stuff, it's www.kadiandthetricks.com. We talk about the issues that are going on and to help people out there. So that's, I think, my responsibility as a Sierra Leonean. And also, just to add, I know so many people want to talk about this, so please feel free to get in touch with us via this website I've given you, because so many people have so much to say but don't have the audience to listen. That's why this is a great opportunity to say, okay, this has happened to this man, but what's happened isn't going to change anything, but we need to do more to help change people's lives that are suffering at the moment.
Thank you very much. Yasmin Kadi, a Sierra Leonean who fled the violence out there as a teenager. Conviction of Charles Taylor, the Liberian leader, won't bring it all to an end, of course. It may be the start of something new.